This is the 76 Mark II from SolidGoldFX, and it's an Octave Fuzz pedal that has some just insanely chunky, thick, and completely gnarly fuzz tones inside of it, especially with bass, I have to say. Whether you want that full, insanely dimed wall of fuzz thrown at you that just sounds so good and so thick, or if you're looking to roll your gain back so you can just have a solid rhythm bass fuzz tone, you're easily able to achieve that without losing any low end at all. So a couple years ago when I checked out the original 76 from SolidGoldFX, I remember loving that overall fuzzy octave sound that it got. It was able to just go absolutely insane and I had so much fun with it. But this one's even better and has even more control over every parameter of your sound that just makes for such a better experience overall. And I have to say too that, again, whether it's that high gain or low gain sound that you're looking for, you're easily able to achieve them. But before we take a chunk out of that gnarly, nitty gritty fuzz sound of the 76 Mark II, and for the sake of transparency, this video is sponsored by our friends over at SolidGoldFX. But of course, as always with any sponsored content on my channel, that has absolutely no bearing on what I say, how I feel, any of the sounds in this video, or anything like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead, stop talking, and jump right into it. So one thing I really want to bring attention to before we dig into the controls of the 76 Mark II is that I absolutely just love the way this pedal looks. That really slick gold color of the enclosure plus the rad colors on the front that just give it such a 70s disco vibe. I absolutely love it with the white, the orange, the brown, the black that really pop and make this pedal stand out for me at least. And of course the sounds are just top tier. Now for your controls, it's super simple. You only have 4 knobs and 1 two-way toggle switch. First up you have level, which of course controls your overall output. Fuzz is your overall gain control that is incredibly versatile, I must say. Without even touching the EQ, just going with the volume and the fuzz alone, you're able to achieve so many different sounds. I think a real sweet spot on this pedal is having that fuzz at around 9 o'clock that just gives you a nice subtle fuzz that just really beefs up your overall tone, but is not overwhelming by any means. But of course, if you want to dime that fuzz knob, by all means, this pedal can take everything you throw at it. Then your final 2 knobs are color and texture. Color is basically a mild low pass filter that controls the output of the fuzz itself, and it sort of works like a tone knob if you would. Then for texture, this really controls your mids. So messing around with the control and texture knobs as well as the level and fuzz knobs on top of that too can just give you such a nice variety of different fuzz sounds that can sound so good with so many different kinds of basses too. But then we get to the real star of the show, at least in my opinion, which is directly in the middle of all these controls, and that is your octave switch to turn it on and off. When it's up, you get some really awesome fuzz tones, but then when you flip that switch down and engage the octave up, it just sounds so good. Basically, it adds a really nice bite of an octave up sound to your tone that just really spices up your overall sound. And it's not tinny or sharp either, which I really enjoy. Now for the good notes of the 76 Mark II. It is surprisingly versatile. I think that's one of the big things that really shook me, just because, when it comes to a lot of fuzz pedals out there, versatility isn't really a thing on their mind. But again, the amount of different sounds I was able to get with this pedal using all the different controls, especially with that octave switch too, it was incredibly surprising to me, especially seeing how it reacted to different basses too. Another great thing is that this pedal is true bypass, so you're not going to lose any tone when it's not engaged. And then even better is I didn't recognize any low end loss at all, which is always such a great thing to have with any pedal on bass. But for the cons, I do have to say, there is one major thing that I'm just missing, and that's just simply a blend knob. Now, it's not a requirement, but it's always something that us bass players like to have. For me personally, I like to have that just because I love blending multiple drives together. But of course, just because it doesn't have a blend knob doesn't mean it's the end of the world either. It's just something I would have really liked to have seen on there. And so overall with the 76 Mark II, I absolutely love how this sounds, and really, again, how well it worked with so many different instruments. I think that's something that's really inspiring too. It's one of those things that no matter what you plug into it, you're gonna find some kind of really rad sound out of it. But of course, let me know what you guys think about the 76 Mark II, and what fuzz pedals out there should I really be on the hunt for. Thank y'all so much for watching, as always, for watching, subscribing, commenting, sharing my stuff, and then of course follow me on social media, all that crazy stuff. I truly appreciate it as always, y'all. And of course, we have our beautiful Patreon supporters right here. Mwah, mwah. If you want to be like one of these gorgeous people right here and help support the channel every single month, then go ahead and head on over to my Patreon page. But y'all, thank you so much for watching as always. I truly do appreciate it. And of course, as always, no matter where in the world you are, stay safe, practice that bass, change your strings right now. I know you need to, don't lie. And I'll see y'all next time.